Good morning or good afternoon, depending on what time of day it is for you. My name is Kiara Nicoll. In this presentation, I will be reflecting on my own personal education experiences, the good and the bad, the reason as to why I am studying a Bachelor of Education focusing on childhood and primary education, as well as talking about my philosophy beliefs referring to a few examples from the Philosophy of Education for the Public Good, 5 Challenges and an Agenda by Gert Biesta. Overall, when reflecting on my own educational experience, it was great experience, not just educationally. It taught me how to interact with others, know my own likes and dislikes, multitask, self-motivate myself, being encouraged to ask questions when I did not fully understand a topic, as well as being a mode to broaden my understanding and knowledge on contents that were being taught to me. Many of my teachers encouraged me and supported me throughout my schooling career in South Africa and Australia. Contrastingly, I had an experience in high school with a teacher who used me as a source to get her frustration from what was going on in her home life. This experience negatively impacted me to the point where I hated my schooling so much to the point where I no longer wanted to continue the last years of my school. When thinking on this experience, it motivates me to become a better teacher and displays an example of how not to be as a teacher. Because anything I may say or do has an impact on someone, especially children and adolescents. The reason why I've changed my bachelor's degree from business to education is because when studying business, I was studying it to make my parents proud, but I never got excited about attending my classes as I do now when learning educational content. Ever since I was a little girl, I was always seen myself as someone helping and educating children less privileged than myself in third world countries. Once I am given my bachelor's of education, even during my placement throughout my education, I would love to be a part of the change. A teacher who encourages her students, be someone who listens to her students, someone who isn't a lecturer when teaching content, but someone who is able to encourage her class to be involved with the content being taught. According to Biesta's second challenge, weakness not strength, if a student is impacted in any way by the content, this is because the student is able to make sense of the content being taught and not because it is being lectured to the student. I know many students, myself included, have had a teacher who was there providing the content needed for a subject, but never delved deeper into the content, so every student truly understood the topic. Referring to Biesta's original challenge, education, not learning, a few points became clear. The initial concept that stood out to me was how, in order to account for the theological characteristics of education, which involves qualification, socialization, and subjectification, one must concentrate on education rather than learning. When referring to education, I see this as the broad aspect, whereas, on the other hand, learning is a specific topic. Another takeaway from this issue is that we refer to students as learners, and adult education has been rebranded as lifelong learning. However, this conflicts with the saying, every day you learn something new. Considerably, I believe that I learn something new every day as an adult, and learning doesn't stop just because you are no longer a student. In conclusion, according to Fiesta, the open structure of educational processes necessities focusing on weakness rather than strength in order to account for the theological character of education. This involves qualification, socialization, and subjectification. Fiesta expands on the existential shift in thinking about education as well as the importance of a lot of good, uniqueness, and freedom.